Hello, and welcome to Shirley Storytime. Today's story is called Doodle and the Magic Christmas Float. The author is Cindy L. Shirley, and the illustrator is Cleoward Sy. This story is based on the author's family's annual tradition of participating in their hometown Christmas parade. The characters are all based on her family members, and Doodle is her granddaughter. Are you ready to meet Doodle and her Christmas float named Magic? Let's go! Once upon a time in a tiny town called Tinsel, there lived a little girl named Doodle. She was a very sweet child with big blue eyes, long brown hair, and a smile as bright as the sun. Doodle lived on a farm with her grandparents, Paw and Mimi. All of her friends loved to play at her house every day after school. It was always a lot of fun playing there. Doodle and her friends enjoyed feeding the baby animals and going fishing in the nearby pond. Most of all, they loved to ride on the train that Paw made from old wooden barrels. It was hooked up to a big red tractor and pulled through the overgrown cornfields. This made everyone laugh and yell for him to go faster. "Hold on tight," shouted Paw. With his hat turned sideways, he gave it a little more gas. "Yippee!" cheered the kids. Paw was a very silly man and wore a different silly hat every day. He made Doodle and her friends laugh a lot. Paw loved to teach Doodle and her friends how to make new toys from old stuff lying around the barn. He was very creative and made all kinds of crazy inventions. Their favorites were the swings he helped them make from used tires and old ropes. Paw recycled wood from a broken fence and made a ladder that went all the way up the tallest oak tree in the yard. He built it to help the kids climb up and hang their swings from its long branches. One day after school, Doodle and her friends asked her grandmother Mimi if they could go on an adventure through the woods. "Yes," replied Mimi, "but don't wander off too far, and remember to bundle up. It's getting cold outside. Dinner will be ready soon, and your friends will need to get home before dark." Doodle led the way to the trails, ready to explore with her friends. She was in search of a beautiful fir tree to decorate for Christmas. As the kids were walking along, they noticed something at the bottom of a hill. It was a little trailer that had been left in the woods. It had 2 flat tires, and the paint was faded. When Doodle looked at the back of the trailer, she saw a tag with the word "Magic" on it. "That must be its name," shouted Doodle. "I know! Let's go ask Paw to drive his tractor over here and pull it back to the barn. I bet he can fix it." They ran as fast as they could back to the barn and found her grandfather working on one of his new inventions. Paw, come quick and bring your tractor. We found a little trailer in the woods and it needs help," cried Doodle. "Do you think you can show me where it is?" asked her grandfather. "Sure thing," replied Doodle. "Just follow us." He grabbed his tools and climbed onto his tractor. The excited kids quickly led the way through the woods and back to the little trailer. "There it is!" shouted Doodle. Turning off the tractor, Paw jumped down and walked over to take a look. "How did you get back here, old fellow?" he asked. Its name is Magic, Pawpaw, stated Doodle. See the tag on the back? I sure do, he answered. Don't you worry, kids. We'll take care of this little guy. He hooked up the tractor and began pulling the little trailer back to the barn. I know you can fix him, Pawpaw, and we will help you, stated Doodle. Well, said Pawpaw, I think I can spruce him up a bit. With a little hard work and a fresh coat of paint, he'll look like new again. Can we start on the repairs tomorrow after school? Asked Doodle. Sure thing, replied Pawpaw. Kids, be sure to ask your parents for permission. Doodle's friends happily agreed and ran home to tell their parents about their new discovery. After dinner that night, Mimi was reading the town newspaper. On the front page was the announcement for the upcoming Christmas parade. That's it, Mimi shouted. That little trailer is going to be afloat in the parade, Pawpaw. I will help make decorations while you and the kids make the repairs. The children can ride on the float and throw candy to everyone in the crowd. Mimi was eager to get started with her sewing and said, We only have a few weeks left, so we need to get started right away. Doodle was so excited that she jumped up, ran out to the barn, and hugged the little trailer. Oh, Magic, you're going to be the best Christmas float this town has ever seen, she shouted. The next day at school, Doodle told her friends about the plan to put Magic in the Christmas parade. They were giggling so loudly that their teacher, Miss Amber, asked, What is going on with you kids this morning? Doodle stood up and announced, We are putting Magic in the town Christmas parade, Miss Amber. Doodle shared the story of how she and her friends had found the little trailer named Magic in the woods. We are going to help my Pawpaw work on Magic after school today, she said. We are just so excited to be in the parade this year. Christmas is almost here, and we only have a few weeks left, explained Doodle. Miss Amber responded, If you all can finish your schoolwork quietly, I will let you use the art supplies to make decorations for your float. Oh, thank you, Miss Amber, shouted the students. Every day after school that week, Doodle and her friends would rush back to the farm to help her grandfather work on Magic. One day, Pawpaw had made 8 giant candy canes from extra wood he had in the barn. When the kids got there, they couldn't believe their eyes. We love them, shouted Doodle and her friends. We will paint them red and white just like Magic. That's a great idea, Doodle, replied Pawpaw. He laughed and kept repairing the trailer. Finally, it was the day of the parade. Doodle and her friends draped all of their handmade decorations and garland around every side of Magic. They all worked together to connect hundreds of bright twinkling lights that were strung from every end. Meanwhile, Pawpaw was busy attaching the giant candy canes and bolting down the chairs he'd made from old boards. Mimi had sewn chair covers using old pillowcases and red ribbons that she had found in the attic. They were beautiful and fit perfectly on the old wooden chairs. For the final touch, Doodle placed a huge red bow on the back of Magic and gave him a big hug. Don't worry, Magic, they are all going to love you, whispered Doodle. Pawpaw hooked up his red tractor to Magic and was ready to line up. The judges were already walking around and taking notes. Mimi counted over 30 floats already in line. All aboard, Pawpaw shouted. Doodle and her friends quickly climbed onto the little trailer and sat down. Each child was given a Santa hat, red robe, and a giant bag of candy to use during the parade. Giggling with excitement, the kids couldn't wait to start. "Off we go," said Mimi. "Kids, remember to wave as we go by, and don't forget to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas." Everyone in town was there, even Doodle's teacher, Miss Amber. She waved as they went by and gave them 2 thumbs up. She was very proud of her students and impressed with their teamwork. Pawpaw could hear all of the people along the parade route saying how beautiful Magic was. As they rode through the town square, the judges held up a huge sign saying, "Best Christmas Float." Doodle and her friends shouted, "It's Magic! Our little float's name is Magic!" The crowd cheered and applauded. Pawpaw and Mimi could not stop smiling. At the end of the parade, there was a celebration ceremony. Magic was awarded a big trophy by Mayor Casey. A reporter was there from the town newspaper and took pictures of Magic, Pawpaw, Mimi, Doodle, and all of her friends. During the interview, Doodle's grandfather shared the story of how the kids found the little trailer in the woods. "All of these children worked very hard to be in the parade this year," announced Mimi. "We are very proud of our little Christmas float and the joy he has brought us." The next day, right there on the front page of the Tinseltown Times newspaper, was a headline that read, "Kids bring a little Christmas magic home," and there was the picture of Magic with his trophy. The garland on the back of the little trailer was hanging in the shape of a smile, which made everyone laugh. "Look at that," Doodle laughed. "He is so happy that he is actually smiling." She ran outside to the barn and gave Magic a big hug and a kiss. She held up the newspaper and said, "Look, Magic, now everyone in town can see how truly beautiful you are." All of a sudden, the little trailer's lights lit up. It was as if he had come to life. Doodle could not believe her eyes. "So that's why your tag says Magic. You just needed someone to show you love and kindness again." Magic gave his bumper a little wiggle and blinked his lights. "Oh my goodness," cried Doodle. "We are going to be the best friends and go on so many adventures together. I love you, Magic." Oh, my heart melted when Magic came to life because Doodle treated him with kindness and love. That's the same kind of magic that can happen when we treat other people with kindness and love too. If you like this story, be sure to tell your friends. And you can go to our website at curlyshirleystorytime.com to learn how you can get your own copy. The author also has other fun books, like The Fabulous Life of Minnie the Sassy Chick, The Extraordinary Egg, and Diesel the Bodyguard, No Bullies Allowed. You can find all the links at curlyshirleystorytime.com. That's all for now. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.